GFN Global Filipino Network. VILMA, live in LA, Season 2, Episode 17. Welcome to VILMA, live in LA, Season 2, Episode 17. And tonight, our special guest is Deborah Mannas from Hong Kong. She's an artist there, recording artist, and also a poet, and she has her own magazine. So tonight, she's going to be gracing us with 2 songs, and just beautiful. So that and much more right here on VILMA, live in LA. And our hellos to the beautiful people out there. You know who you are, and I do appreciate the fact that you allow me to tag you. So thank you. Welcome to VILMA Live in LA, and we are zooming over to Hong Kong. We've got Deborah, and this is such a treat, such an honor to have her on the show. A recording artist, a poet, and she has her own magazine. So how awesome is that? So let's welcome Deborah to VILMA Live in LA. Hi!
Hey, VILMA Live in LA. It's fantastic.
Yes. And live in Hong Kong.
Indeed. And it's early morning in Hong Kong. Well, not quite early morning, but morning. And it's your evening, isn't it?
Yeah, we're like in the evening. But, I love this, that we're able to do an interview no matter what.
I know.
Yes. Know. So I know you're going to be presenting us with 2 songs. That is so wonderful. But before we do that, let's talk about you being a poet and a songwriter. So how long, what was your first poetry that you could remember?
No, I can't remember.
Okay, no worries. But you've always been so passionate about poetry, right?
Yes. But I did study literature. I graduated doing psychology, sociology, and literature. And we studied a lot of poetry and, how it works, how to write it, and then the great poets and all of those, I guess the technicalities of it. But it wasn't till years later that I actually started writing. And I didn't write poetry just for the sake of it. I wrote it because I'm a lyricist at heart. And so I wrote my first song, and that I can remember. And that first song was called What Do You Want From Me? And it sort of was a folksy sort of song, and I never converted it. I never actually produced it. But the next song I wrote was Body Talk, and that is on the second album.
Wow, yeah. So you've got 2 albums. How impressive. And you have a huge following on YouTube, on social media. And yes, you have such great songs. So let's do the one that you would like to share with us.
So, this song, is very close to my heart, and it's also is very relevant for what's happening now in my home country, India. I moved from India to Hong Kong about 30 years ago. Um, and so about 2 or 3 years ago, I think back in 2018, there was something going on there with the um, politically. And a new movie had been launched which portrayed um, the heroine acting as a goddess,
Yes.
and some fundamentalists didn't really like that, so they threatened to behead her for what they deemed to be the wrong portrayal of this goddess. And so, the whole there was they were outraged and so on. And so I was outraged, and I said, I voiced my opinion on social media, and then I got attacked by a lot of people who said that I didn't have a voice because I didn't live there anymore.
Oh,
So, so I said, well, you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to write a song. And so I wrote this song, and it's called Would You? Because, of course, if we all stayed silent, then injustices would never be dealt with. So anyway, I wrote this song.
yeah, beautiful that you're using your voice and your music to, be vocal and, create something positive out of that situation. So, yes, thank you.
So it's in the style of Bob Marley, reggae, and let's go for it.
Yes.
If I spoke of violence, would you listen? If I sang of the broken, would it capture your heart? If I wrote of all the things we take for granted, but only value when they're torn apart, would you feel the pain? Would you turn up my sound? Or would you shut me down and drown me out? If it didn't happen in my backyard, if I left the country, commented from afar, if I didn't live there, but still was scarred, would my voice make a difference? And would you feel the pain? Would you turn up my sound? Or would you shut me down and drown me out? Turn off the airwaves, shut down transmissions, be like the three monkeys. Turn off the airwaves, shut down transmissions, hide like the three monkeys. But in the forest, if the trees still fall and the air gets stale, will that be all? Will that be all? If I stopped speaking, would you love me more? Would my views be valid if I moved next door? Should I speak out or simply shut my mouth? Choose uneasy peace over right and justice. And would you feel the pain? And would you turn up my sound? Or would you shut me down and drown me out? And drown me out. Ooh, and drown me out.
Wow. Such a beautiful message. Thank you so much for sharing that. GFA Global Filipino Network. And, you know, yeah, I heard, actually, I watched recently how the voice and kindness and softness actually will be able to influence a change in the world. Uh,
I I think so. And music is the universal uniter, right?
yes.
Um, they say sports is, but no, there's a lot of violence that goes on in sports, and rivalry between sports teams and things. But music, it's just the one thing I think that transcends everything, that
Yeah.
speaks to everyone. So I'm just so happy to have the ability and the to share my voice. And yes, that's what I love doing.
Yes. They do say that music is the universal language. You can touch everybody's hearts with a melody. And so, just to ask you, you've been in the music scene in Hong Kong for a while. How has the pandemic affect the music scene?
I think musicians and professional entertainers have been the worst hit profession. It's been really bad. It's been really bad. I have friends who've been out of work for months. So the with the unrest and then the COVID situation, it's been really bad for them.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. It was the same here too.
It's I just wonder how people survive. I'm lucky because um, I have a career outside of music,
Yes.
in the HR profession, and so that's been busier than ever. Um,
Yes.
and so I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful and I'm lucky because it's doing something that I love. It's in HR, it's behavioral, it helps people, it helps the organization, and so I have that side of my life, and then I have music that keeps me sane.
Yeah, so music is your passion. That's wonderful because then you're able to balance, the left and the right, or the left brain, the right brain. That is so wonderful. And you are, again, very fortunate to have that. So let's go to your second song that you're going to share with us, The Stars in My Eyes.
Yes, and the background to this song is it's for all the people who see that something in us that others don't. They see the stars in our eyes, and then encourage us to be everything we can, and build from there. And this song is actually dedicated to my dad, who passed away when he was very young. He was just 53, um, but he was one of those fathers that, well, he had four daughters, including me, and no sons. And he was one of those fathers who was more ambitious for his own daughters than we were, or even, many mothers might be. Though not that my mother wasn't, but my father pushed us to do anything we wanted. We never had the discussions in our home about this is, what men can do, this is what women can do, and so on. And he was an engineer, and he wanted me to be an engineer, but no, I think my calling was more behavioral and people. But he let me. I mean, I used to solder in the workshop and chop wood and do change bulbs and do all kinds of things. And so he bought me my first guitar. When I was painting, he bought me my first set of paints. He would. There was nothing that he told us that we couldn't do. We never had the discussion that you can't do this because of you're a girl, or because you're this age, or so I wrote this song for him, and for anyone who sees the stars in our eyes. And it was a single last year. I've decided that I'm just going to do singles from now onwards. Just tell me, and dry. Sandstorm bullets blind my eyes. Curled up small, I pray for calm. The way I feel when in your arms, I can feel you watching me. That's all it takes for me to know I have the strength to weather this, and I dare the winds to blow. You saw the stars in my eyes, you saw the dreams in my heart, you saw right through my disguise, you were my guide in the dark. You saw the stars in my eyes, you were my light in the cloud, made me believe in myself so I could see through the fog. Volcanic ashes rain down, red lava spits up from the ground. The earth crumbles unto itself. The heavens crash, black holes are born. Yet through destruction and disaster, the unkindness of what must be, I'll remember now and after the faith you always had in me. You saw the stars in my eyes, you saw the dreams in my heart, you saw right through my disguise, you were my guide in the dark. You saw the stars in my eyes, you were my light in the cloud, made me believe in myself so I could see through the fog, see through the fog, through the fog. You saw the stars in my eyes, you saw the dreams in my heart, you saw right through my disguise, you were my guide in the dark. You saw the stars in my eyes, you were my light in the cloud, made me believe in myself so I could see through the fog.
That was so beautiful. I love it. I'm like listening to the instrumentation and the lyrics. Right. So, Deborah, you have 2 albums already. Are you currently working on new material?
Yes, so I have 2 albums and 2 singles, which I did one after the other last year, and I'm working on a new song, which will remain a secret for now.
For now, yes.
Yes, so stay tuned. But my 2 albums and my other songs are available on YouTube and Spotify. I mean, any digital media. So if people want to go listen, I'm Deborah Mannas, DEBORAMANNAS, at YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Spotify and iTunes and what have you.
Right.
The new single, I'm really excited because it's a collaboration across the waters, and it's sort of it's a combination of styles, sort of more retro and a little bit of R&B, and so I'm very, very excited.
Yeah, that would be great. We'll hear it soon. And so before we go, is there any message you'd like to share with our viewers as far as like they're pursuing their dream, their passion? Because, talking to you, you never gave up. It's like you did a full circle as well. So I'm sure that there are a lot of viewers out there that share the same passion. What would you like to tell them?
I think it's really important to balance out your life between your day job and what people consider to be hobbies, because you can't let that go, because that is actually what's going to make you fulfilled. And there have been times when I stopped doing music because I was doing my master's degree, or I had, the birth of my son. There were moments in my life where I had no music in it, which was, it was a weird space for me. But I always went back. And then, I built up my voice again by going and singing in church, for example. Slowly building. And so whatever you're doing and whatever feeds your joy, I like to call it feeding my joy, and giving me joy, do it, because it just makes you a better person. It makes you more resilient. It makes you more creative. It makes you better at your work. And just do it. Make time for it.
Yeah, I love that. Feeding your joy, and just do it and make time for it. So thank you so much, Deborah, for being on our show, Vilma Live in LA. And we will post a link to your social media where they can get a hold of you. And we actually would like to invite you again. We have the June 12th event, which is a Philippine Independence Day celebration. And maybe perhaps you can sing a Tagalog song, a Filipino song, perhaps. And then at the same time, we can also do your song. So it's an open invite. Huh? Yeah, maybe we'll text each other, but that would be so lovely to do.
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Vilma, have a wonderful evening, and God bless you for all the work you do.
Thank you, and you too.
And you've had a journey too, right? Where you did exactly the same thing, followed your passion, and now you're doing another degree.
Yes, I'm taking my master's finally. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we never give up. That's the beauty of it, because we feed our soul, we feed our joy, and at the end of the day, when we're happy, we make other people happy.
I always think of it, and before, in this way, and I know we were running out of time, but if we don't give to the world the talents that we have, I think the world will be a lesser place for it, right? So for those of our listeners out there who have talents and creativity, it's a shame to hide it.
Share it. Yeah. So thank you again so much.
God bless. Have a great evening.
And here is my social media. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, also to my Instagram. Subscribe to my Spotify, Reverb Nation, VILMA.me, and much, much more. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Vilma D. Ramos. On Instagram, Vilma Live in LA, subscribe to that, and GFN channel. My music is on Spotify, Reverb Nation, also on YouTube Music and SoundCloud. Plus, we have them on Apple Music, iTunes, and much, much more. My website is Vilma.me. Again, subscribe to Instagram, Vilma Live in LA. Every day is a good day with you. GFN. first for you. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's been such a great time. Spend better. Too funny. Take two. Out and about Los Angeles. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here with me on VILMA Live in LA. It's been such a great time. Yep, we heard Deborah Mannas with her beautiful songs. Such a beautiful lady as well. Beautiful heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are just amazing, just beautiful, always close to my heart. So from me to you,